It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wednesday's Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, the 28th day of January, 2026, coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia. We're getting down to one of the last days of shows from the studio here in Forest. Of course, today's show is brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by chilliescruises. Quite frankly, folks, there's not a whole lot in the way of news today. I guess the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned, is the project continues here of me moving. I actually have most of my suitcase packed for the cruise. I never do that this early. The other interesting thing that will certainly help toward us getting all this done, if we don't get any more weather, Cousin John brought the big John Deere up this morning and got the driveway and the parking area plowed so the nurses can get back in and out of here, and Amanda can get in and out of here, and hopefully if we get some melt between now and when I have to leave, that I can get in and out of here. That we'll have to see about. At this point in time, I can't, but hopefully we'll get to that way shortly. It's the next 5 days, though, 5 nights, it's going to be down to 10 degrees. So no matter what it does during the day, at 10 degrees at night, that's not going to leave a whole lot of room for melting. But we're going to see. I mean, obviously, I've got to run some risks here to get out to my car. Thankfully, I don't have to load my scooter on. It's already loaded. I do have to get the suitcase and the computer bag into the car, which we'll play that by ear right up until when it's time to leave. All right, so like I say, there's not a whole lot of news this morning. The lead story today, Legend of the Sea adds a new maiden voyage. Of course, Legend of the Seas is the next Royal Caribbean megaship. MSC's new headquarters opens in Miami. Bob W. opens new properties. We had a Loggerhead turtle release. What time is it? About an hour and a half ago. And a story that was originally brought to us by Hot Air Tom on Monday. Fly early for NCL Cruises. And finally, this morning, unfortunately, a ferry sunk in the Philippines. At current, the fatality count's at 18. Expected to go higher. That and lots more news here live at 11 o'clock today. All right. Today, folks, is National Blueberry Pancake Day. Ironically, we had blueberry waffles, not pancakes. But anyway, it's Pancake Day. So fix some blueberry pancakes. This day in history, in 1855, and this is to honor my friend Nate, who's living part of the year down in Panama now. In 1855, the first locomotive runs from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean on the Panama Railway. This day in history. If you're a podcast person, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for travel and cruise industry news, and up pops the old fat guy. The next outing is coming up. And as a result of that, I currently have 2 days that we've canceled shows. February 6th and February 23rd. One before the back-to-back cruises and one right after the back-to-back cruises. And those are travel days. And, it's just the difficulty of me putting a show together when I've got all that added on is just a bit much for me. So currently the 6th and the 23rd, and that's subject to change, but currently those 2 days there will be no show. I will try to make that up by doing some Facebook pop-ups and some other live adventures during the 2 trips, both from on board the Grandiosa and at land at one of the port of call stops. I think there's only one tender port, and that's, of course, Grand Cayman. And it depends on what kind of tender boat they have that the Grandiosa is using as to whether or not I can go ashore. So we'll have to play that in by ear. I'll check that as soon as I get on board on the 7th. So, and it's going to be fun to be with, amigo John, Tom and Cindy, Gary Older Than Dirt, the second cruise with Roger, and Roger's actually it was Nikki's best friend is going to be with us for that one. Who else is on this? Anyway, we've got a nice little group going, so we'll have some fun. I'm sure you'll get some information on what we're doing as we go along. I'm hoping to do as much as possible on filming and so forth from the Grandiosa. So, started a few little things. Some of you may have noticed some a little different short videos. It looks like, for those of you in the disabled community, for now, I'm going to be doing a series of short wheelchair accessible videos with ports and cruise ships. Now, there's going to be other videos on my travel logs as well, where we're just going to go in and talk about the port facilities, which may or may not be wheelchair accessible. So I realize that not everybody in the audience is disabled. So I'm going to try to balance some of that out so we get an equal amount of content for the disabled community and other community as well. So that's coming up. All right. So those 2 days are shut off. If you could hear that in the background, Amanda was bringing in some boxes for me to pack up my artwork so it doesn't get damaged in shipment. So, All right, so that is pretty much going to put an end to the pre-portion of today's show. Before we get to the news, let's take a quick break from one of those fine network sponsors. I'll be back in just a minute, folks. All right, so we're going to start off the news tonight with a new Start off the news today with a new reporter that's joined Nestor. This is Henry. Henry's over on the other side of the pond. So, Henry, what have you learned about Legend of the Seas and its upcoming schedule? This is Henry from London.
Royal Caribbean has accelerated the debut of Legend of the Seas, its third Icon-class ship, adding a new earlier inaugural sailing as construction continues ahead of schedule. The ship will now officially debut on July 4, 2026, a week earlier than the previously planned July 11 maiden voyage and nearly a month earlier than the original August 2 launch date. This marks the second time the ship's inaugural sailing has been moved forward. Guests currently booked on the July 11, 2026 sailing have been given the option to move to the new July 4 inaugural voyage if they wish. Royal Caribbean notified guests by email, highlighting the opportunity to be part of the ship's first ever sailing. The newly added 7-night Western Mediterranean cruise will depart from Rome, Civitavecchia, with ports of call including Marseille, Barcelona, Palma de Mallorca, and Florence, before returning to Rome on July 11. Royal Caribbean said it is eager to unveil what it calls the next icon of vacations, as Legend of the Seas prepares to kick off its inaugural Mediterranean season.
Thanks, Henry. All right, Nestor, what do you have on the new headquarters down in Miami?
MSC Group has officially opened its new North American Cruise Division headquarters in downtown Miami, marking a major investment in the region. The $100 million, 130,000 square foot office brings together 400 team members and is expected to support up to 1,500 additional jobs over the next 3 years. The headquarters occupies the entire 7th floor of Block 55 at Sawyer's Walk, a mixed-use development located near Port Miami. MSC also opened the world's largest cruise terminal at Port Miami in 2025. A ribbon-cutting ceremony held Monday included Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, Miami Mayor Eileen Higgins, MSC Group Cruise Division Executive Chairman Pierfrancesco Vago, company leadership, and local business and community partners. The new headquarters highlights MSC Group's long-term commitment to Miami as a key gateway for North America and a global center for cruising, trade, and logistics. Will is sharing the love this month. Until Valentine's Day, you will receive a free spare battery or $250 in accessories when you purchase a mobility device on the Will website. Just use the promo code at checkout. Model C2 purchase equals free battery, $599.99 value. Model F or Model R purchase equals $250 in free accessories. Use special code SRN11137LOVE 2026. Promotion valid until February 14, 2026. Enter the promo code at checkout. Please ensure you have both the device and battery accessories in your cart before completing your purchase.
All right, Henry, what have you found out about Bob W?
Bob W., the tech-powered hospitality operator, today announces the opening of 5 new properties across London, Rome and Florence, strengthening its presence in 3 of Europe's most important travel markets. The new openings include Bob W. London Hyde Park, Bob W. London Kensington, Bob W. Rome San Lorenzo, Bob W. Rome Testaccio, and Bob W. Florence Santa Croce. Hyde Park and Florence Santa Croce are now live and welcoming guests, with the remaining properties set to be bookable by the end of the week.
I kind of like Henry the way he says schedule. I can't say it the way they do it in England. So, all right. Nestor, let's talk about some turtles.
Loggerhead Marine Life Center announced that Pyari, a 211 pounds adult loggerhead sea turtle in their care, was returned to the ocean this morning at 9:30 a.m. Another awesome release at Juno Beach, Florida. In a story first mentioned by Hot Air Tom on Monday, Norwegian Cruise Line has made an important change for cruise passengers who book flights through them for their upcoming cruise. Starting today, everyone who books a flight through Norwegian Cruise Line will have to fly in a day before their embarkation date. The cruise line stated that the reason for this change was due to guests missing the cruise due to flight delays and cancellations. While cruisers will be required to fly in a day early, they will be responsible for their own hotel costs. This change only applies to guests who book their airfare through NCL and not on their own. The RO Pax Ferry MV Tricia Kirsten 3 sank early Monday while sailing off the Philippine province of Basilan during a scheduled voyage from Zamboanga City to Jolo Island in Sulu. Philippine Coast Guard records show the vessel, carrying 332 passengers and 27 crew members within its certified capacity, sent a distress call at about 1:50 a.m. local time, roughly 4 hours after departing Zamboanga. The ferry went down shortly afterward near Baluk Island in relatively calm seas. A large-scale search and rescue operation involving the Philippine Coast Guard, Navy, Air Force, and local vessels recovered more than 310 people from the water. Authorities have confirmed at least 18 fatalities, with about 24 people still missing as search efforts continue. Scootaround is offering VIP savings on all scooter and wheelchair rentals in Las Vegas this winter. Book a mobility equipment rental by February 28, 2026 for discounts. The rental can take place anytime within the next 90 days. Get out and explore the Strip. Call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Rentals in Las Vegas are 15% off when booked by February 28, 2026 and 20% off if you pick up directly from our Scootaround location. Use code LVWINTER or SRN 11137.
Whoa. We got double deck there. I'm not sure what happened on the end audio there. I'll have to go back and fix that. Why am I in this now? Let's get back here. Oop, that's the wrong one. So remove. There we go. Wow. Anyway, sorry about the end of the commercial there. The audio duplicated there the last seg. So I'll have to fix that. Anyway, I told you we were a little short on news today, folks. When I say we're short on news, that generally means there's not a whole lot of news. So, at any rate, it's good to welcome our new reporter onto the show today, Mr. Henry. Love the accent. The only thing that possibly I would like better is when we can get my friend on from Scotland. I even love him talking better than I do Henry. So anyway, we'll see what comes ahead in stories and guests and the like. Pretty excited about a couple things that are shooting around here for this afternoon. Other than getting back on the packing project, I'll finish my suitcase for the cruise shortly. I just have to put shorts and pants in and pack up the rest of my pants into a plastic bag that's going in Jason's car. So that's going to be done in probably 15 or 20 minutes, and then we go on to the next project. By the way, Kenneth, your slips to go in your luggage tags, will be inside my computer bag. so they don't get screwed up. Okay. So if something should happen between me and my bag, your luggage tags are inside the scooter bag. Hot Air Tom will be able to tell you what that is when he sees it. So that's what's coming up now. Say, well, oh yeah. So this afternoon, I was contacted by the U.S. Ghost Adventures, and I've seen ghost tours in a number of cities that I've been in around the U.S. Yeah, Miami and New Orleans comes to mind. Well, I had no idea that they have more than 300 locations in the U.S. and have ghost tours in 300 locations. And they've asked if they could come on the show and chat one day. So needless to say, I sent them information this morning, and I'm going to give them a call this afternoon and see if we can't schedule someone from the ghost tours on the show one day. One of the things I'm trying to find out that I don't see in any of their literature or their online site is what percentage of the tours are accessible, if any. I mean, they might all have to go up steps. They might all have to go to second floors or basements and not have elevators. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, because I think that would be delightful to do a ghost tour on any number of cities that I'm in the U.S. And I don't know if they have, let me see, do they have any in other places? Are they all in the U.S.? No, it's U.S. ghost tour. So they're all in the U.S. But they do have more than just ghost tours. You can also stay overnight in a haunted house, which might be cool. They have tours in, Akron and Albany and Austin and Bakersfield, Berlin, Maryland. How about that? Yorktown, Virginia, Cody, Wyoming, Crested Butte, Colorado. There's only 2 states, I believe, that don't have ghost tours. I was going to check one this morning and I got sidetracked. No, Providence. That's there is one in Rhode Island. The only state I see that does not have a ghost tour in the entire state is North Dakota, which is up there in spitting distance from Amigo John. He goes right over the border. He's right up there in that corner in northern Minnesota, where North Dakota is one direction and Canada is the other. So we need to get John to open a ghost tour thing in North Dakota, so they're in all states. I could have, I might have missed one in the map as I was looking at this morning. But anyway, a pretty interesting thing that I'll be looking into. So hopefully we'll be getting them on the show some here real soon. All right, that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's go over in the chat room. Hot Air Tom is here. Say good morning, everybody. There's Kenneth. Good morning from Cole, Pennsylvania. Yeah, we've had the problem here. It only got down to 10 last night, so that was a heat wave for what's been the last couple of nights here in Virginia. And I know you've got a lot more snow than we have. I tell you what, I was really surprised that Emily has somewhere like 17 inches. That's a lot of snow for New York City. and surrounds. Tom, Kenneth says, Tom, good luck with your appointment. I'm trying to think what appointment. Did Tom say that earlier and I just missed it? Good morning, everyone. They must have been talking directly. I can't remember what appointment Tom has today. There's Mike from the other side of the pond. See, Mike's over there with Henry. There's John. Good morning, everybody. Many degrees below zero, but not cold enough to keep the ice away from the door. Well, that's good. Good luck with your appointment if you made it, Chuck. Okay, so my situation with the cancer clinic, that was another pretty good story. I called the cancer clinic yesterday, and I said, no, I called them. It was supposed to be, wait a minute, what's today? Today's Wednesday, Tuesday. I called them Monday. And I said, Monday afternoon, after the show. And I said, okay, I have a 7:45 appointment in the morning, and it's not likely I can get there. And they said, no, you can't get here because we're going to be closed. I said, well, that takes care of that. She says, we'll reschedule you for the 9th of February. I said, no, you won't, because I'm moving to Kentucky. You are? So I explained all that, and I said, now I need to find out, do I need to generate the information going from here to them, or do I get to them and come back to you to generate the information going to them? Which way do I start? She says, no, you go to Kentucky, get your oncologist there, call me back, and I will ship everything to you. I've got you marked in the files. You're going to Louisville. If somebody besides me answers the call, they're going to be able to look and see it, and then we'll ship everything to your new oncologist you need. So you shouldn't miss a thing. I said, fine. Was this appointment for anything important? She said, no, we were just going to do another round of blood work and check your PSA and stuff like we do on a quarterly basis. I said, okay, that's good. Then I'm not going to worry about getting there, which is a good thing because I still haven't been out of the house, and I have not. I mean, I saw that Johnny came and plowed this morning, but I have no idea if I could get to my car. I still have to ride a wheelchair down a slope to get to the car, and it's got to be able to, it's got to be cleared enough for me to do that. I don't know till I see what situation we're in, whether I've got to get somebody in here with shovels now. I don't know yet. So anyway, we'll see. But anyway, thanks, Mike. So I don't have to worry about oncology now until I get back to Kentucky toward the end of February. And then it'll be time, I'm sure, to at least set the appointment for my next Lupron injection. I'll just be getting it in Kentucky style. Now, Kentucky, the difference in a Lupron injection in Kentucky and a Lupron injection in Virginia, don't you? Oh, they take it's one of those long ass needles like this, and they dump it down in a glass of bourbon. See, and they swirl the needle around in the bourbon, and then they jam it in your ass, and your butt gets drunk, and they give you the shot. That's Kentucky style Lupron injection. Just saying. Everything I say, folks, is the absolute truth. Absolute truth. Let's see what else we got. There's Roger. I think we got Roger's, of course, comment calling from Jacksonville. Waffles are just pancakes with syrup traps. Yeah, well, I actually rather enjoyed that. as we haven't had that for some time either. John, we'll meet you for the first time. God, I can't believe, Roger, that you and John were not on the same TA. Sorry about that. Roger, you're going to like John. John and I are like two peas in a pod. If you like me, you're going to like John. We just, Gary's the same way. We just all kind of fit together. Gary and I'll sit and drink and listen to music and stuff in the evenings. John's not a big drinker. John enjoys dinner. And we'll go out and do some things. He loves ship. Especially he loves one ship in particular. So I'm trying to spread him out a little bit to a different ship. So we'll see how he does with that. And John says, yes, Roger, although I have to send my avatar because I may be in prison and being shipped to Ecuador here in Minnesota. Yesterday morning, they spotted 15 ICE agents, 15 ICE vehicles rolling into Crookston, Minnesota, which, my worry are that John will have nobody to harvest his sugar beets. Come spring, they're all going to be deported. But anyway, there's now ICE in Crookston. Roger says, I have a friend's husband who was murdered in Ecuador. That's sad, says John. That's where they're shipping a lot of people that they're arresting up there in Minnesota. There's Bob. Bob says, good morning, too. Artemis 2 is set to be going up on February 6th at 9:41. That's right. So Hot Air Tom can't be with us because he's going to be in the rocket. So he's going to be in the rocket and miss the boat. Could be. Don't worry, Cindy. We'll take care of you. If he gets on that damn rocket and is on his way to Mars or the moon or wherever that thing's going, we got you covered, Cindy. I heard that Chillie is bringing both of his books to his new home, and one of them hasn't even been colored in yet. Easy now. I'm still working on coloring one. I have pretty much finished coloring the Ted Williams book, though, that Roger gave me. That might be the longest book I've ever read. It is like thick, 1,200 pages or something. Good book. Of course, I like Ted Williams. There's Eli. Says, greetings from a windy but warm St. Kitts. Yeah, warm is the... by the way, just in case anybody asks, yesterday morning, we were able to keep the sink in my bathroom from freezing, but the toilet froze. So, obviously, I'm not in a position to haul warm water. So Amanda had to stop from her breakfast duties when I discovered that the toilet had frozen up, and hauled some warm water in it until it, cleared and ran through. And then she got to thinking, how can I do this? She's already put down some towels and stuff to, stop the cracks and crevices in my bathroom. Remember, there's nothing underneath the floor in my bathroom but air, just like in the floor in my bedroom here. It's air. There is no basement. So she got one of the electric heaters and plugged it up and ran it into the bathroom and aimed the electric heater at the base of my toilet. And although it only got down to 10 last night, it didn't get down to 2 below, or it got down to 6, actually. That was the low. I had no problem with the toilet this morning. It was fine. So Amanda pulled that one off. I mean, I didn't. But anyway, Eli says, don't hate me, but I'm sitting here in the sun watching this. That's utterly disgusting. Sun and warmth. And just watch. I get on that cruise ship, it's going to be 30 degrees. And then we get out on the water, and it's even colder. All right, Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Good morning, everyone. Looking forward to your stories from the ships and your new studio. Yeah, I'm getting pretty excited about it, quite frankly. Eli says, thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hot Air Tom says, my appointment is with the urologist follow-up. Oh, yeah, that's right. For the blast procedure. It was canceled in the office on Tuesday. Yes. The office was closed. Well, I would hope so. No. 2 below is in Mississippi. Yeah, well, it was also in Virginia. So, speaking of Mississippi, I'm sorry we didn't have Sunny. I wanted to see if Sunny had survived the power. A lot of Mississippi has no power. A lot of Tennessee has no power. We're missing a couple of our regular guests. Sunny in Mississippi. It was good to see Todd here. Jamin, didn't see Jamin. Who else did we miss? Steve out in Kentucky. We got some people that are in areas that are still have some pretty healthy numbers with no power. We have not lost power here a single minute, which is amazing to me. And yes, I realize part of that is because we're right next to the firehouse, and they have to, keep communications line and roads open and all that business. So the fire trucks can get in and out, and the volunteer firemen can get in and out. So at any rate, I'm sure that's part and partial to our success here. But we got a few people that I was hoping to check with on the icing situation this morning, so I have to put that off until Friday. If you watch it on replay, folks, know that I was thinking about you guys, and we'll check in with you the first time I see you. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. Good luck at the urologist, Tom. Hope all goes well. In the meantime, I'm going to be busy. All right, that's it for now. Don't forget, like Eli asked you, smash that thumbs up button. And then, folks, don't forget, take this as my invitation to subscribe to this channel and the bell notification to be notified when I go live or when a new video is posted. So that's it for today. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fantastic Wednesday, everybody. I'll see everybody back here on Friday. Y'all have a great day.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.